(1909), the Edwardian Golden Age. Genteel civilization had come to England, the continent, and the eastern United States. New York rivaled London and Paris as one of the great metropolises of the world. Albert Einstein had expounded his theory of relativity back in 1905, and science had brought us the wonders of the modern world. Culture and refinement had arrived on the east coast of America. Caruso was singing Pagliacci at the Met. Arturo Toscanini was conducting. The Barrymores were performing, and the Ziegfeld Girl was the rage. 1909 in the western part of the 46 United States was not so refined. The surviving Indian warriors were now being rounded up by the U.S. Army. In Washington, William Howard Taft, 300 pounds of pure Republican, was president, and life was comfortable. In other parts of the country, men were fighting each other and the elements. In the New York department stores, a lady could buy maxis and boots and live in style. Out west, they didn't think about style, just living. Eastern Empire builders had secured their fortunes, the Morgans, Vanderbilts, Carnegies. There were empires in the West, too, such as the great McCandless Ranch. But these huge ranches were held together only by having enough men and guns. Notre Dame teams were playing football with N. Newt Rockne catching the forward pass. In the Arizona Territory, another team, the Arizona Rangers, were busy just trying to keep the peace. Anna Pavlova, prima ballerina of the Russian ballet, was dancing Swan Lake. The dance hall girl in the Klondike Gold Rush Saloon was somewhat different. By 1909, still photographs had come to life. Motion pictures had been born with the great train robbery. While that make-believe drama was on the movie screens, 9 men crossed the Rio Bravo into Texas. The turbulent years between the Civil War and the turn of the century brought out the best in some people, but in others, it brought out the worst. Example, O'Brien, a half-breed Apache born of a Chiricahua mother and Irish father, a professional gunfighter, one of the last of his kind. Pop Dawson rode with the James Boys in Kansas and Missouri, said to have murdered more than a dozen men, one for as little as $7. Trooper, name unknown, a backshooter, considered a coward, reputed to have been a cavalry soldier sometime in the past, but not to the personal knowledge of his Confederates. William Fane, younger of the Fane brothers, favors a shotgun, a greener for its bloody killing effect at short range. James William Duffy, at age 14, killed his first man, who was an admirer of his prostitute mother, dead shot with a rifle. William DeVries, young Billy, not quite 21. This raid was thought to have been his first outlaw act. Walt DeVries, his older brother by 20 years. He looks more like an Iowa farmer than a professional killer. John Goodfellow, maybe the worst of them. An indiscriminate killer. Women, children, no consequence at all. Prefers to work close. Favors a razor-edged machete. John Fane, sometimes peace officer and bounty hunter. Served with distinction during the Spanish-American War. Professional soldier thereafter. Now between wars. Currently, banks, trains, killings, and responsible for organizing the infamous McCandless raid.